Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours and a lot of frontline changes. Yesterday we have less than 10 square kilometers captured by the Russian forces. Today they're going to make it all up. As you can see from here, we already have a massive 23.53 square kilometers. In Kursk, even on Pokrov itself is already 6 square kilometers, Koma itself is 4. So this is quite a lot of frontline change. So we're going to go straight into the biggest region, which is the Kursk front, and we have frontline changes in all three sectors. We go into the Sumy sector first. Russian forces have entered into Loknya. So Russian forces entered into Loknya. They are now in the northern half, near the center of Loknya already. And this frontline change is huge because everything around here, these are all open ground. The Ukrainian forces can't possibly be there, so it leads to this kind of a very straightened front line. And I avoided some of the tree lines around here. These are the tree lines. Everything else here, these are all most likely to be supposed to be under Russian control because the Ukrainians can't possibly be there, or they are just going to be sitting ducks. So Russian forces captured massive amount of grounds at Loknya. And this is pretty much the real beginning, I think, of the Sumy front, as the Russian forces, Russian side has declared the liberation of the entire Kursk front. So I think within the next 1-2 days, we're probably going to be changing Kursk front to a Sumy front. And the buffer zone at Sumy seems to be a real thing. And the Russians seems to be very determined right now to develop a buffer zone in the Sumy region, as per seen as at the capture of the entering of Loknya. Within the Kursk front itself, Ukrainian mapping have mapped all the way from Oleshnya to Gordanau. Gordanau is over here. That the Russian forces have advanced along the entire front line of Kursk, with Russian forces entering new tree lines, capturing more of the forest, as well as capturing more of these gully regions just north of Gordanau. And this stretch alone is around 7.73 square kilometers. This is a huge chunk of land, and the Russians are approaching the border. The terrain here is very difficult, so don't expect the Russians to just conquer this entire region within 1 or 2 days. It might take 3 or 4 days perhaps. Or even longer, because they're still very dangerous. I mean, this change alone took 1-2 weeks. So don't expect too fast. But I think it's pretty clear that things is Kursk front is converting into the Sumy front by this look of it. But we still have not have clear evidence of the capture of Oleshnya. At Gordanau, we are almost there. Russian forces have entered into Gordanau. Geolocation of them on the southern street confirms that they have basically captured like 90% of Gordanau already, with a little bit more on the outskirts, basically around here, which we cannot 100% confirm yet. But the Russian forces have fully taken all these positions. Based on Ukrainian mapping, they might this zone here is gray zone. Ukrainian forces is along the forest, but we shall see how this goes. The movement, the advance here is around 600 meters, 500 to 600 meters, up to 1.2 kilometers. So that's Gordanau, and Kursk front continues over at the Belgorod incursion sector. Russian forces have captured Popovka. So they have recaptured Popovka with the soldiers basically, walking with a flag, very openly in the street, confirming confident control of Popovka. So Russian forces have recaptured Popovka, and all this happened while Zelensky having an emergency one-to-one private chat with Donald Trump at the Vatican City. I've done a video on that, published on the main channel. You can check it out. And I think this development coincide with the desperation that's setting in on the Ukrainian side. Like, if things are not already desperate, it's even more desperate right now. Things are really looking very, very bad. Ukraine have lost all its bargaining chip by the look of it. Like, So things are really bad right now. And if you look from the entire KURSK front, you can see a big push at Loknya over here, and then the closing of the KURSK front, where the Russian forces have entered into Gornau, and then we have recapture of Popovka over in the Belgorod incursion region. So the Russians are pushing in all directions. Things are really getting bad. Battles are moving into Sumy, and yeah, like the Russians would not have entered into Sumy, like, to be honest, if not for the KURSK front. So the front line would just be another quiet front, just like in the Shenheath border, where nothing much is really happening. Yeah, but no, the KURSK offensive basically have attracted the Russians to enter into the Sumy region. And sorry, that's my WhatsApp. And so this is going to this is going to cause the Russians to probably annex some land in Sumy. I believe. I don't think the Russians is going to give it up. And whatever peace deal Trump is having in his brains, I don't think it's going to work out the way how he wanted. So that's all from the KURSK front. The next frontline changes is over at the Pokrov front. So over at the Pokrov front, this is Pokrov, and over in this sector, all the frontline changes are around this sector in the south of Uspenivka and around Nedievka. So if I zoom in, I can't even cover everything. So yeah, so that's the front. We'll put it like this first. So geolocation of Russian forces south of Uspenivka and at Nedievka, confirming Russian presence in this sector. Another geolocation is over here. So south of the other geolocation, south of Uspenivka, confirming that the Russians have straightened the front line all along this sector. And Nedievka geolocation confirms the Russian claims. So we're going to zoom in because I don't think you can see anything like this. So the south of Uspenivka, the geolocation is here. So, and along with this geolocation, these two geolocation confirming the entire straightening of the front line, entire movement of the front line forward, westward, towards the south of Oleksandrivka. So this is the front line change in this sector. The movement is around between 1 to 1.2 kilometers. So in the south at Nedievka, this area here is already claimed to be under Russian control. There was a Russian claim. And with this geolocation, this confirmed the full capture of Nedievka by the Russian forces. And so this corroborates the Russian claim. Ukrainian claims is now invalidated if there is any. So that is the advance over at Nedievka. The distance travel is around 700 meters. And in fact, I should have actually put this also, as a flag, Russian forces captured Nedievka. So 6-4. Yeah. So that's the flag. So that is the Nedievka capture. And so these are the frontline changes. This is actually, there's no more. So let's do some calculation of the total area captured. I'm quite sure you have already calculated because it's not allowed to count. So the 23.53 plus 6.14 plus 4.45. The total area captured by the Russian forces is 34.13 square kilometers. This is 3 times more than the 10 that we always tend to expect nowadays, which if you spread it backwards to some of the other days that they did not we did not have any information of the advance as big as a 10. I think it spreads out pretty well and still average out to 10 square kilometers per day. So I think the advance is still at 10 square kilometers per day for the Russians. So nothing particularly stands out for now. The Ukrainians are still largely holding. Holding doesn't mean they're preventing any advance, but they are holding the front line. The front line is still there, largely, but they are still getting pushed back. So that's what I mean. So that's it. So thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys, and check out the SIP rep if you haven't saw it, and I'll see you guys in the next update.